And that is why Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is pure pornography.
Oh, God, I wish I finished college.
Now, welcome to my spoiler review for Deadpool 2. And this is mainly just a part 2 of my non-spoiler review for Deadpool 2. I made this, to my surprise, Deadpool 2 actually requires a spoiler review just because there's some nice surprises in this movie that are worth talking about, but I don't want to talk about in my non-spoiler review because that would just sort of ruin the nice little surprises in this movie. So yeah, here's the spoilers, and what we're going to start, and let's talk about the big cameo that's in this movie, or not even cameo, just a character in general, is Juggernaut. He's more than just a cameo. He actually ends up playing a role in the story. And yeah, old Juggernaut, he comes in this movie. He's helping Fire Fist and sort of Fire Fist escape from the truck that Fire Fist was being taken from, the kid. And yeah, it was like, whoa, because I had no idea Juggernaut was going to be in this movie. And that was a nice secret that they kept from the trailers and whatnot, because I didn't see any glimpses from him, at least from the trailers that I've seen. Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough. But it was nice that it was a surprise, just because it was like, whoa. When that helmet came out and you saw just this big dude coming out, you're like, no way, is that Juggernaut? And yeah, because obviously Juggernaut, he's been in the X-Men movies before, in X-Men 3, The Last Stand. But obviously he wasn't all that great in that one. Besides that line, obviously, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. But yeah, he was not done sort of justice in that movie in terms of his look and sort of his role in the story. Like in that movie, they don't even mention his relationship to Charles Xavier, him being his brother, the reason why he has the helmet. Amazingly, they actually do mention that in this movie. They talk about how the Juggernaut, the kid, he tells the kid he wears the helmet so Charles can't read his mind and all that stuff. So it's good that they sort of bring that in, even though it's not like this is a movie about Juggernaut at all. I think a lot of people, they want to see Juggernaut have like a real role as a villain in the X-Men film. But the fact that they brought him in here was pretty cool. And obviously, he looks a lot more accurate to the Juggernaut that you would want to see from the comics in terms of like this big dude, this sort of Hulk-like size and whatnot. And yeah, his fight with Colossus was pretty good also. And he ends up surviving this film, so who knows what they're going to do with him in films down the road, in another Deadpool film or another X-Men film. Once again, it goes to show you that continuity in these X-Men films does not mean shit, because it's like, how the hell is Juggernaut like this now when he was like that in X-Men 3? I know X-Men 3 got erased from the timeline, but it's like it's like they don't even care. It's just like, you know what, people didn't like that Juggernaut anyway. Let's just do something different. So yeah, Juggernaut, that was sort of the big thing that was like, whoa, in this film. Now let's talk about something minor before we get to sort of the big thing I want to talk about. In terms of something minor, the cameo by the X-Men in the X-Mansion. Obviously, the big joke that they make in Deadpool 1 and this movie is that why is Deadpool, when he goes to X-Mansion, he's only seeing Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and in this movie, Negasonic's girlfriend, I can't remember what her name was, but it was some Asian chick. And yeah, Wade, he's in Professor X's chair, just going around, just going like, why am I only seeing you two here? And then behind them, you see the X-Men in sort of a classroom, and it was Charles, Cyclops, some students, but the main thing, you see Beast sort of close the door saying, we want no part of Deadpool right there. And that was really funny to sort of see that. And I should mention, it's the cast from the prequel X-Men films, First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse. They're the ones that come in. So it's McAvoy's Professor X. So there's Deadpool's answers to McAvoy or Stewart from X-Men, from Deadpool 1. It does sort of beg in the question, when does Deadpool actually take place? Because like these are not, so this doesn't take place in like sort of what you would call the modern timeline of the X-Men films if they're using the prequel cast. But does it really matter does it really matter? Is it just like a joke? Is it just because those were the only ones that were available? Did they do that cameo during Dark Phoenix when they were making that film? Who knows? But it was a really, really cool gag for them to see them actually bring the X-Men in there. Now, of course, I would still really love to see an actual Wolverine cameo. We came close to getting that, but not quite in terms of a real cameo, because Deadpool is always poking fun at Wolverine. So you would sort of like to see them sort of actually go at it in terms of doing a real Wolverine cameo. But the cameo that they had with the X-Men here, it was really good. So I appreciated them doing that. But let's go to the big thing to talk about, which is the time travel at the end, the post-credit scene, really. Arguably one of the most like, whoa, post-credit scenes of all time, just in terms of like, it's so hilarious and so like, are they really doing this? Because Negasonic Teenage Warhead and her girlfriend, sorry, I cannot remember her name, they end up fixing Cable's time travel device. And that leads to Deadpool saying, let me borrow this. And he goes back in time and they're like, uh-oh, what did we just do? And in terms of what he does, it's like, it really is like, holy shit. First, he goes back and he saves his girlfriend, Vanessa. And that's something I should to mention, is that them killing Vanessa in this movie was just like, whoa. It's like, they're really going for this, huh? And you think by the end of the film, it's like, oh, she's going to stay dead, but with this post-credit scene, she ain't dead no more. So it's like, okay, well, in terms of the context of the movie, it's still really effective. But once you get to this post-credit scene, it's like, well, I guess, I'm happy she's alive, so that's cool, because Vanessa, she's fine as hell. And I love that relationship between those two. Even the little bit that we got in this movie is still sweet between Wade and Vanessa, so that was good. Then what he does is he saves Peter. The whole parachute scene, oh my god, in this movie, it caught me so off guard, because I thought those guys were going to play like a big role throughout the rest of the movie when they introduced them. But it's like, nope, they just gone right after that. So that was pretty hilarious how they did that. But it was a funny gag with Peter, what they did with him, Deadpool saving him. Just walk away. Just walk away, Peter. So that was cool also. Now let's get to the big one, what Deadpool does. And that is, he goes back to X-Men Origins Wolverine, the scene where the Deadpool from that movie comes out to face Wolverine, and he just shoots him just dead, just kills him right off like that. And it was like, holy shit. Actually, because I was reading something to where they were saying, the makers of the film saying, this scene actually is canon now. And it's just like, it's just so hilarious that they would do that. And just perfect sort of for Deadpool. That would be the thing that he would go to do. It was such a fun moment. Like I said, that was the closest that we're probably ever going to get to an actual Wolverine cameo in Deadpool. Because it's stock footage. So it's not like they filmed a new scene with Wolverine. It's just the scene from him in X-Men Origins Wolverine. They just sort of edited it to make it sort of fit well. But it was still really cool to see. But yeah, I was still not getting a real Wolverine cameo in these films just yet. But it was still really cool that they did that. And the fact that it's actually canon is like, holy shit. And then the final one he did is Deadpool going and killing Ryan Reynolds, just as Ryan Reynolds was about to accept the Green Lantern script, or take the Green Lantern role. That was just so funny. Just the digs that they do at those movies, Green Lantern and X-Men Origins Wolverine. It almost makes it worth it that they made those movies, because those are two horrible superhero films. Just awful. I mean, X-Men Origins Wolverine is just one of my all-time least favorite films, and Green Lantern was a stinker also. But the fact that it gave such great material for this movie is just like, it makes it worth it to have those. So, yeah, that's sort of the main thing that's sort of amazing about this time travel, is that all of it, I guess mainly besides the Green Lantern thing, is actually all real canon. So that's really cool that they did that. And yeah, those were the main spoilers that I wanted to talk about. Some of the other stuff that was cool also, I didn't want to mention in the spoiler review, was you knew at some point they just had to make a joke, a Thanos joke at Cable, obviously because it's the same guy doing it. And you weren't sure where it was going to come, and it came to a whole lot later than I thought it was going to come. Comes towards the end, where Cable is mouthing off to Deadpool before they go to the orphanage, and Deadpool's all like, hey, zip it, Thanos. And the whole audience reaction was like, oh, he said it. And I was so happy that they said it just because I really wanted to see them make a joke at that. I thought that what they would have done if they wanted to make a Thanos joke is Deadpool and Cable are fighting, going at it, and then Deadpool, he's reaching for a weapon, and then he pulls out the Infinity Gauntlet, and then Deadpool's just like, too soon, huh? I think that would have been a pretty good joke, something I would have liked to see. But what they did with here, it's nice, it was subtle. Don't make a hell big deal about it, but it is just perfect that this came out after Infinity War to sort of do a joke like that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this spoiler review. I was able to talk about those three sort of main aspects I did not want to spoil, and also give some further thoughts of what I thought about the movie. Just some other stuff like the James Bond like opening, that was great. The dig that he made at Logan, the whole playset thing, the dead Logan at the beginning, you know what I'm talking about. That was really funny as well. Signing the cereal box with Wolverine on it, that was great. So yeah, just a whole lot of good stuff in Deadpool 2. And to reiterate my score, 9 out of 10, great entertainment value in this movie, great Deadpool movie, great continuation of the first film. And yeah, I want to see a Deadpool 3. Who knows how soon it's going to happen, but yeah, we'll just have to go from here. But as for now, we can all just really enjoy this film. So once again, hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see y'all around with another video.